Also on Ustream, so hi to the one person that's watching us on Ustream. It'll grow, don't worry. Richie, 2 championships in a row. Just reflect on that for a second and what it takes to win 2 championships in a row, not only in modifieds but in any kind of class.
In any kind of class, it takes a lot of mental preparation to go in week in and week out, just to set your mind, have your mindset set to just not even worry about the win, but just go out and be consistent. Sometimes you have the fastest car, but you don't necessarily have a chance to win the race. So you can't go in the race thinking, "Oh, I have this in the bag," and force issues. That's what causes yourself to get into issues, and it hurts come the end of the year.
How challenging was it for you this year? Last year it was kind of win championship. Now this year it was second, third championship. Did you get frustrated at all, thinking we're not doing enough, or did you have to talk yourself down at all?
Yeah, I got frustrated. I think we all got frustrated, to tell you the truth. I mean, the 2 years prior to this past season, we had 4 wins at Linda Speedway in each year. So it was frustrating for me, coming off last year with a dominating performance of 4 feature wins, and then pretty much just had to start a feature on championship night throughout it. And then compared to this year, coming down to championship night, sweating bullets, and didn't know if I was actually going to win the championship until I saw Aaron Burrows got into trouble coming from the white flag. And I think that saved my season, to tell you the truth. But you know what they say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So it's stressful.
Speaking of being more lucky than good, Mike Boyer. No, I'm just kidding, Boyer. Big year for you. Tell us a little bit about your season and the things ahead for you.
This is actually going to be my 20th year in racing. It's hard to believe that it's actually going to be 20 years because I don't know where the time went. But putting my own car back together again for this year. I'm still going to run for Jim Corner. We're going to mainly do points races with my car at Linden's. Probably going to run a lot of the time trial events with Jim's car. I'm hoping for big, good things because we're going all out with everything. So that's going to pick up the motors. Car's not brand new, but we're putting everything on brand new. Trying to do this again because being 20 years, not winning a championship at all. I mean, there's a lot of tough competition, but we're going to go after it the best we can this year. So we're going to pull out all the stops we can.
20 years, what's your earliest racing memory?
Oh, jeez. Actually, first time I got in the car, never ran nothing else. Went to Cass Valley. When they were Patterson was racing, we showed up in his trailer and went out for hot laps. I know what to expect. I put it to the floor, and I came back in. I almost crapped my pants, and I couldn't believe how fast it was. And I actually thought, what am I getting myself into? But then after that, it's I loved it from there on out. And stuck with it, and it's just a lot of good memories. That's just one of them. But it's probably my next best one will probably be winning 2 features of back in 2007 and winning the heat race, coming from last spot. This was awesome night. So there's a couple memories.
Mike talked about championships. Richie, last year you ran for a tour championship outside of Linda Speedway and came very close but didn't quite get it. How much motivation do you have going into this year to chase another Linda's championship and maybe go for 3 in a row?
Oh, I mean, at the banquet I told Nick Skias I want to be the Nick Skias in the modified class. So
Boyer wants to be the Nick Skias of the 270s.
But we got a lot of motivation going into this year. Our main focus is Linda's. We're going to do what it takes, hopefully, to bring 3 in a row. It would be one heck of an achievement. Yes, I mean, 2 in a row is one heck of an achievement. But yeah, we got our heads screwed on straight. We're looking to start the season off real strong, and just like last year, not necessarily go out and win. I mean, it would be nice to make it a lot easier, but just go out and be consistent. Go out, win the heat races. I mean, last year that's what won the points for me. I had 9 heat race wins out of 11 times we were there. So Yeah, just go out and focus lap by lap, and that's all we can really do.
Both of you guys have two cars. Mike, you've always run your King chassis, but when I saw your car for this year, it doesn't look much like a King chassis. Have you made the switch?
Yeah, I have, mainly because, King doesn't build cars anymore, and it's very convenient to have an RTF chassis since it's down the road getting ready. Then Terry comes to the track every night and has all the parts that he needs. So, um, now, there was a lot of parts that would switch over from the King and everything, but I just thought it was time for a change. It was nice when it was something different, but I thought I did like the consistency of the RTS car, and with running with Jim and everything, and he has two RTS cars. I thought it was time for a switch, and hopefully that'll be the next leading step to maybe possibly winning the championship. So.
You have two cars this year, Richie. We talked a little bit about it last night, but we'll touch on it now. First, which car are you planning on running at this Speedway? And I guess how much is it going to take to run two cars, even though it might not be back-to-back nights, but just the upkeep on two cars?
My opinion, the upkeep's a little nicer. Like I said last night, you don't have the wear and tear week in and week out on the car. We're not too sure which car we're going to use at least yet. That's why we're kind of really hoping for the practice day to shake all the bugs out of it and just see which car will work a little better. We're probably going to end up running both of them throughout the year. We know the one car works real well. We're throwing a whole new setup on the car we got last year. So if that car decides it wants to work, then that's going to be the one we run. If not, we're going to stick with reliable.
Mike, with the other car and with Jim and the partnership, are you going to be running consistently on a Saturday night as well, or just focusing on Friday nights?
Right now, the focus is just mainly on Fridays. There will be some Saturday racing. We kind of hashed it out there with Jim a little bit. He's not quite sure what direction he wants to go, but basically he told me he only wanted to run so many races. He said it was kind of hard running a full season like he did last year, so that kind of made it a little easier for me to decide to put my car together. But there will be some Saturday, mainly probably like Pat Valley, maybe some Lanco. We'll see how money goes and everything. It's always a big factor. Trying to get some support back there to back you up.
And the same thing for you, Richie. It sounds like you're planning on running 2 nights a week as well. Just tell us a little bit about maybe your Saturday night deal as well as how much, I guess, just wear and tear on your team. Maybe not the car, but the team running 2 nights a week.
It actually shouldn't be so bad this year. Last year, me and my dad kind of wanted to go after each other. But I mean, that was from running. We had a weekend where we ran Pencan on Friday night, which is right at the New York PA state line, out the Path Valley, and then back to Pencan on Sunday. So I mean that was over 800-900 miles worth of traveling. This year we're going to focus on Linda's on Friday night and Shellhammers on Saturday. So they're both. I mean, Linda's is 20 minutes from the house, and Shellhammers is 45. So that's going to make it easy. And going to Shellhammers, I don't believe they run for points, so it's just going to show up and have fun. There's not going to be the stress of the points on your shoulders. That's going to be the track that we can go out and try something new, see if it's going to work, and not gamble Linda's or something. But no, I mean both tracks are fairly close. We are gonna hit some of the tour races, like all the big diamond shows, the Bridgeport show. I believe that's April 19th, the rain date of April 26th. That'll be the first time we're ever there. So I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna hit a couple tour shows here and there, but our main focus is gonna be Linda's and Shellhammers.
Mike, you're coming back with your own car, back in black, I guess. And just tell us a little bit, I guess, sponsor-wise, you said you had a lot of help this year. Just maybe give those people a call quick.
Yeah, I mean, had a lot of help. My returning sponsors, Al Garris, which I work for, big part of this. Moose's, LZ Bar and Grill. Got the Auto Hut returning. They do a lot of my paintwork. New sponsors is Ensinger Insurance, and got Titan Wings to return again, and also new is Crutchell's Automotive. are all helping out big time. Have some people, friends and family behind the scenes too that want to see me be back in my car again. They're kind of stepping up and kind of behind the scenes partners. So it's nice having everybody to step up and get things rolling here for 20 years. So.
Good deal. Richie, why orange? Why did you paint one of your cars orange?
I mean, obviously purple's our color. We just want to kind of mix it up a little bit this year. Um, I mean, last year we were at 5 Mile Point, and Aaron Bowes actually jumped in the backup car we had there. A lot of people were having a hard time telling them apart. So, so we just decided to mix it up. We figured with the orange we would still go with like a purple vinyl, which we did, and I think it came out pretty nice. Yeah, it was just to change it up a little bit. We didn't need two identical cars because then we kind of get it mixed up as well. So the different colors will help us out.
Mike, we kind of know what your aspirations are this year for a championship, but what about going forward? How far into the future are you looking with your own car and maybe trying to develop more of a consistent program for yourself?
Well, I mean, if we can keep the sponsorship backing us up, keep going as long as we can. I would love to say I'd be racing, for the rest of my life. Of course, love to be in a 410 car, but that's big dollars there. So I'm happy to be. As long as I've been racing the 270s I have, I mean, it's awesome to be along to have in it. Um, I'll stay as long as I can, and as long as things keep going like they are. As long as I'm not running at the top, I haven't been always on all the time, but if we can be consistent and be winning, I've been almost an average in a winning year. So, matter of fact, Jim just told me the other day, I'm like 2 wins out of being on the all-time top 10 list for wins, and that's saying something. That's really awesome. So hopefully, before it's all said and done, we'll be up there. I don't think I'm gonna catch Terry Shaver because he's quite a bit up there. But it'd be cool to be part of history. So.
Can you repeat the season with all the wins? Can you repeat that season where you came out in that kind of breakout year when you came back with your own car and just won and won and won?
That was awesome. I would love to say yes. I'm hoping we can because if I can make it more consistent and with all the wins, it would lead to a championship. Like Nick has been doing. He's been dominating. So to have the 6 wins that I had in that '07 season, we talk about it a lot. It's tough. I was awesome. If I can get rid of some of the motor, problems that we had that year, and some of the wrecks and stuff. This past couple of years, as you grow older, you learn a little bit, and you learn from your mistakes. And I've got more consistent. That's why we had top 5 finish we did this year. Unfortunately, we would have had a third if it wouldn't have been for the last race when Kevin Berger plowed the tire and I didn't my hand. So, but we still, can't complain about third place. But we can, keep from having some of the mistakes and keep consistent. I don't see why I can't do what I did, a couple years ago. So, with the motors I got and everything, and how we're putting things together, it should be a hell of a year.
Richie, for you, going forward, 2 cars in the 600 modifieds, your aspirations are to eventually maybe one day move into a big modified. Do you see that in the future? Or are you kind of at that point where you're going to settle into the modified class? Maybe if the opportunity arises, go to something still small car related with little Richie maybe coming up to quarter midgets, and it just gauge into your future a little bit.
Oh, I'd love to go big modified racing, but my pocketbook's not there. So, like we talked about last night, the series I'm in, it's probably one of the biggest bang for your buck around this area. So I'm probably going to stick in with this unless an opportunity comes where there's a seat open and someone wants me in it. But yeah, my son, he'll probably be racing when he's gone. That's going to be his ultimate decision. But yeah, if he wants to, he'll be practicing in court beforehand. So just gotta. All I can really do is go out, go into each week just with the mindset of do my best and see where that takes me because I can't afford anything else.
All right. Thank you, guys. We have a couple other people we want to talk to. Mike Boyer, driving the 41 again this year. Come out and support Mike. He's got some good things happening. Richie Hitzler going for 3 championships in a row.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we're up to 3 viewers. We topped out at 7, then we lost a few. So apparently you guys were not interesting enough. That's why we're switching people. Taking a look around. There we go. Brandon Heist and Kayla. Are they? Yeah, there they are. Okay, you guys can come up. Kayla's car is on display with the Linda Speedway booth for a wingless 600. And Brandon took the winner off, and he does not have his car here this year. We'll ask him about that here in a couple of seconds. You guys got to pick up the microphone. You're all right. You're all right. Take a deep breath. Yeah. You too, Brandon. Hold on to that thing. Brandon, we'll start with you. What are your 2015 plans? A lot of Linda Speedway last year, but you seem to really enjoy that wingless Wednesday at Shellhammers.
Yeah.
Turn it on there. Sorry, that was on me. That's on me.
This year we plan on mostly running just Lindas because we're a little bit tight on money, but hopefully looking at a good year this year, trying to change some things up. We are planning on reaching out and going with like Shines and this is something definitely in our plans because I like it a lot. Once I did it, Mike, I was definitely like, yeah, we're going to do some more. Now, since bugging me, I guess we decided to do one for Windows too, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, we're gonna definitely do some Windows and mainly Windows this year.
Kayla, you spent most of your time traveling over the past couple of years between Linda's and Action Track and Airport where you started. What are your plans for this coming season?
Well, Linda's is my favorite track, so we'll definitely try to be there every Friday. My dad was talking about going back to Action Track and maybe a little bit more than last year. We only went a couple times last year. I know we're going to Greenwood a little bit more. It's kind of a far haul for us, maybe 3 hours. But I know we're definitely doing the Dream. We'll be at Linda's that Friday night and we go to the Dream on Saturday. I like to travel. Sometimes I get sick of the same track and I like to change it up a little bit. But we'll definitely be at Linda's every Friday.
Brandon, for you, it's been a challenge of trying to decide where you go next. Do you stay in the 270s? Do you move to a 600, especially considering they run wingless more often, or do you take the big jump to the 305s? Just tell us a little bit about where you are right now. I mean, it sounds like a 270 year, but maybe even planning for the future a little bit.
Yeah, this year we're just strictly doing the 270. I mean, hopefully I might have a couple of rides in the 600s this year. Not too many things, just a couple of here and there races. Next year we're probably looking to move up to 600. I've been really interested. I got and want to practice up on this. It's just something I really look forward to more of just driving and getting used to the throttle control, less just kind of being super smooth with 270s. We were going to do 305 racing, but just the motor and stuff, everything together, it was just too much of it. It would have been too much. We had a car and we actually traded it for another RDS 270. So now we're up to 3 cars that are going to be with us, and then my brother has his car.
Kayla, for you, what are your biggest challenges looking forward to 2015? I mean, you won with the wing on last year, but with the wing off, which was kind of your specialty, still winless. Is that the goal for 2015 to pick up a win?
That's definitely one of my biggest goals is to win wingless. I know Jared Kunkel won last year wingless at Kutztown. That's one of my biggest dreams. There's a lot of good drivers at Kutztown. Freddie Raymer, all those guys, Billy Pouch Jr. It's one of my biggest dreams to win Action Track, so I'm hoping there'll be a wingless feature win here soon.
Brandon, for you, 2014 was a struggle. You even won the Hard Luck Award. But what can you gain from that season going forward, learning and just turning it into positives?
Yeah, definitely last year was a little bit of a tough season. a lot of different things, just motor car issues and stuff like that. Thought we had things figured out, and then we go out and just fall on our face yet again. This year we plan on just kind of focusing on any issues we have, getting the issues solved as fast as possible, and just kind of always keeping our heads up, knowing that eventually we'll figure everything out and be able to just continue moving forward.
Kayla, for you, you carry the number 25. Where does the 25 come from?
Oh, well, my birthday is May 25th. 25 was the number I picked when I started quarter midgets 8 years ago. It just kind of stuck with me.
After quarter midgets, what did you move into before you got to the 600?
I ran the 125 class for a year, and I told my dad I wanted to go faster, so we got a 600.
Tell me you want to go faster again, you'll get an Indy car. That's just keep moving right up there. Brandon, for you, going forward, and what are your goals for 2015? I mean, I'm sure you just want to rebound, bounce back, and get back to winning ways. But we heard Boyer talking championship. Is that something in the future?
Championships are something, in my opinion. It's not necessarily go after the championship, more of just staying consistent and worrying about always being faster. And the championship, I think, more or less comes to people more or less than just going after. The ones that go after more, in my opinion, yeah, you struggle more because you think
Right. We'll dive in a little bit here more with you, Kayla. For a young lady racer, how much pressure is on you? First of all, being a lady in a man's sport, but also you have a wide fan base of young girls that are looking at you and kind of putting that pressure on you to not make the mistakes of common life. Do you worry about that at all ever?
Honestly, I think the most pressure I get is from my dad, being that my brother doesn't race anymore, so it's all on me. I mean, we fight sometimes at the track, but we usually work it out or just let it go. But I definitely get the most pressure from him. Sometimes it's stressful and I let it get to my head, and other times I just blow it off. But I know there's a lot of little girls out there, but I hope that if they want to race, they really get into it. We need more girls out here.
I don't disagree. Brandon, for you, you run with the handicapping system, starting a little deeper in the field most nights. For you, and I wanted to ask Boyer, I forgot. Is it better with the handicapping? Do you feel more rewarded when you win a race, or are you better off with that pill draw that can start you up front?
I personally love the handicapping. We ran a pill draw a couple of years, and it just felt like it was more of a play in the heat races, staying second and third because of handicap. It just felt like if you stayed in those positions, if you had a pill draw, less of a chance of you had a better chance of being towards the front. Just general staying in good start position, right? I think with the handicapping and stuff, if you're in a good groove and stuff, it makes you work harder. Mid-pack and stuff. Whereas if you're having bad luck and stuff, you just say you go to heat race, take your handicap spot, it gives you a better chance to now some of the faster guys that always go constantly. It gives you a better chance. I mean, my second win 2 years ago was actually from having bad weeks and bounce back and start on the pole and let it run. Right.
Brandon talked a little bit about his future, Kayla. There's a lot of rumors about where you're going. Maybe not tell us completely, but give us a little hint in what direction you're going.
There's definitely a rumor about a bigger wingless car. I know my dad really wants to get a midget. However, the motors for those are very expensive, more than the car itself. So as long as we keep our sponsors and they keep treating us well and everything works out, if we get some wins this year wingless, I definitely don't want to move up to anything bigger until I master wingless and get a couple wins under my belt. That makes me a little more comfortable about it. I think my biggest fear about moving up to something bigger is the pedaling position. They're not out in front of me anymore, they're underneath of me. It's going to be something to get used to, but you got to do what you got to do if you're going to go somewhere. So.
Who are those sponsors that you're talking about? Give them a quick call.
Well, my dad, my mom, my brother, Baltimore Sewer Service, John Rock, Timmy Shock Lab, Terry Schaefer is a big help. My Public Pearson, my grandparents up there in the front row, my mom's parents, my family, everyone who stands behind me.
Brandon, how about you? The sponsors and the people behind the scenes that help keep you going.
Honestly, there's not many of those. I was actually talking to Corey about that earlier. Sponsors. Most, like every year that we've had so far, it's all been
right.
My parents, me, and everybody got my parents mainly being a sponsor of the sports in the car. We pretty much do all our sponsorship. We try to reach out and stuff. We won't get many feedback, and it's okay. We're not always going to get sponsorship and stuff like that. We just try to dig into it and we do what we can to help it out.
All right. Best of luck in 2015 to both of you, and I'm pretty confident that we'll see you in victory lane. You probably before him. He's still got some bad luck to kick. Thank you.
Thank you.
We had Chris Smith as the only other scheduled person that we were going to talk to, but we did have Kevin McCallan kind of walking around. Oh, Burrows is here too. It's like they're scanning over.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you quick, Mike, and then we'll dive. Yeah, get up here, Chris. That works. Mike Burrows, driver of the 55 Modified, and Chris Smith, driver of the 69 Charger. Maybe you two could swap rides one night. That would be interesting. You're in trouble, Burrows. Maybe not. Chris Smith has a new ride for this year. Tell us about that new car, Chris.
Well, I started building a new car about a month ago. As everybody that knows, I haven't raced the past couple of years. I had a baby and kind of put the racing on the backside. So we decided to build a new car, and with all my family and friends to help me and my parents, we got the car together. It looks pretty good. So let's see if I can go back and win some more races. I'm tired of being not in the victory lane anymore.
Mike, for you, kind of on the opposite end, you visited victory lane once for the first time last year. How much confidence do you have going into a new season, especially with such a successful point season?
Well, I mean, it was a big thing last year. I didn't want to race it, and I ran the series for 3 years, and it just kind of, once I got the first one, got the monkey off my back, it was a whole lot easier, and it wasn't as, what do you want to say, not so much stressful, but just like I say, kind of got the monkey off the back, and it was a whole lot, it just seems like they came a little bit easier. So hopefully you get a lot more this year.
Chris, for you, much like Mike, he competes at Linda's and follows the tour. You were a Shippensburg regular for a long time. With the track closing, are you thinking that'll affect your season-long, I guess, track time? Just the time that you can put on the car, and the things that you can figure out by racing more often, not necessarily at the same track.
Well, Shippensburg is always a fun track. The problem is getting there. It costs a lot of money. We haven't been up there for a couple of years. That place is really nice. Linda's is a little bit more challenging for me. I just getting a hold of Shippensburg is a little bit more easy. It's just more natural. It really takes a good, consistent driver to run Shippensburg. Linda's, however, everybody is faster and a little bit more competitive. So it is going to be a little harder not having the track time on the car and trying to get it right. But I'll do what I can and do the best I can.
Mike, for you, we talked to Richie a little earlier about the movement of the tour, and the home track series now is coming into play. Will you be running tour events with the Friday night program, and how much wear and tear is that for you guys?
I mean, with Richie has the 2 cars, so like you said last night, Richie has 2 cars. He runs one strictly for the tour and one for Linda's and Shippensburg and that kind of deal. It's a lot more wear and tear. I think we had 50 races last year in the tour and Linda's. And this year we're more going to focus on the Linda's and the big diamond rather than the tour. Because driving to New York, you're getting 400 miles round trip, and we leave at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and don't get back till 2 or 3 o'clock the next morning. And it's a long day, and it's pretty expensive to go up there if you don't do well, especially you go up there and something stupid happens, you break a chain or something like that. But,
Right. Chris, last year, for most of the season, it seemed like you were kind of bouncing back and forth between the 69 and the 29. Will it be a one-car deal now from here on out for you? And how much work went into that? We talk about these other guys having the 2 cars and the work of bouncing back and forth, but you were maintaining the 2 cars, and some nights they would even run together.
Yeah, the 29 is actually my brother's car. We just built that one last year, and he decided he was going to take a night off one week, and I said, well, I want to drive the new car. And like I said, my old car couldn't quite figure out how to get it handling right, and the 29 seems to be a better car, and I'm hoping that the new car is the same as the 29 is.
What is the biggest difference? What do you see from one car to another that makes it so challenging for the 69 compared to the 29, or the old 69, I guess we should say?
Well, the old 69, I just could never get it to handle right onto the corners. It always wanted to seem like push up to the wall. The 29, you can pretty much put that thing anywhere and it goes to the corners. It's a really good, stout car to drive. The motor wasn't the best in that thing, but it handled it better, which is what made it fun to drive.
Mike, for you, you kind of cut your teeth in the quarter midgets and then moved up to the modifieds. Just racing for a long time. Where do you see going forward? And just what direction do you want to go?
Well, I mean, I'd like to do like a sports or modified, a diamond and that. But for what it is, racing's a hobby, right? So, I'd rather. Right now, I can race affordably and race pretty well often. Back at Windows and Big Diamond and different things every once a month. I can do that kind of stuff and it's affordable. I can still keep doing what I need to do, and it's not a full time. I'm not spending my whole paycheck on a race car. Right. Now, unless something happens that gets a whole lot cheaper to race with modified or something else, or something else. But right now, like I said, 600 modified, you can't beat them for the prices and the competition and everything else. You can't beat them. Right.
He talks about affordability, Chris. The Chargers have been that way for a while, but now the talk of maybe changing the bodies and stuff. What direction do you want to see the class go, and what direction are you concerned that it might go?
I think it's a good thing is the way the class is going because they are getting harder and harder to find. I just want the class to stay around. It's still somewhat affordable with the economy. I think everything is going up. But I know I have a lot more money in this car than I had in any other one I took 10 years ago. But as far as the class goes, I hope we keep getting more and more cars and it keeps being fun. I do really like coming to Linus and I like racing there. So I just hope that it keeps performing and more people see. And I'm hoping with the bodies, maybe it'll make them a little bit more flashier and that more people will be a little bit more interested in it again.
For the Chargers, they run in a handicapping system. We talked about that a little bit with Brandon. But Mike, your class does the Pilgero. How challenging is that? How frustrating can it be? Some nights you are fast in the heat race, you look good in the heat race, and then you end up starting 8th in the feature, even though maybe you had some bad weeks before it.
Well, the Pilgero is kind of nice. It's either hit or miss kind of situation. You either sit there and you're not the best in the heat, you finish last in the heat, and everybody else pulls, and there's chip number 1 left in the pole. But sometimes you win the first heat, you pick first, and you pick until number 9. You got to start 9. It's kind of a hit or miss. It's kind of luck of the draw, basically, what it amounts to. I mean, like I say, sometimes I get lucky, sometimes not. But it keeps it fair that way. Not that way. The same people ain't starting up front. It kind of changes it up a little bit.
Chris, for you, looking back, you mentioned it's been quite a long time. We won't say how many years that you've been racing, but looking back, if you can for a second, just take the recollection. Who was your biggest rival through your time of racing, and maybe even back to the Thundercar days?
I would have to say it would probably be Nick. We always had good races back then. Like even Chris Durden, we always had real good, clean racing, hard, bumper to bumper, and we even threw some sparks sometimes. But we always came out in the plus. Cars never got real too beat up, and we just had a lot of fun back then. That's really that I miss racing with Nick and Chris so much because they were usually were always up there dogging for the lead.
Growing up, Mike, we'll talk a little bit, kind of similar thing. Who did you, when you were growing up racing, who were you looking up to? Who was that driver that when you got to the track, you were glad to see they were there?
Well, I mean, I never really looked up to anybody as far back because I never really went to the races other than my own race. I mean, my dad ran back in 04 and 05 when you guys had the pro shops. So I always kind of looked up to him, and that's why I kind of got into racing because he raced and stuff. So that's why I kind of got into it. You know.
Chris, for you, a lot of the Charger guys are making that jump now to the street stocks and the bigger stuff. Is there a will to do that for you, or are you content where you are? We talked to Richie Hitzler. There's a family there. For you, there's a family there, and a lot of other just kind of increments here and there that'll change maybe your situation from other people's.
The goal would definitely be to move up to a street stock. I would like to drive one sometime. They really look interesting to me, and it's another challenge. I have my championships in the Thunder cars, and it's one step farther. Now, money, if I could afford it, we'd love to do it. But we're content now with where we're at. But yeah, hopefully in the future, within the next 3 or 4 years, maybe we'll step up and do something else.
We talked to the others about sponsors. We'll start with you, Chris. Just the people that help you, maybe not necessarily sponsors, but you're definitely one of the closer knit family groups that come to the Speedway on a Friday night.
Yeah, my family is 100% behind me, family and friends. I've had probably 20 to 25 people working on my car in the past month to get it here. And with a lot of help from all the sponsors, Jason Dieselman, Ashton Salvage, so that use the shop, Tool Shed gave me the paint, and Hunger Produce gave me a little bit of money towards the car. But yeah, everybody backs me 100%. They're always there to watch me. And I can do no wrong in their eyes. And I thank God for my wife. She let me spend the last month and a half out in the garage, and she took care of the children in the house. So I know she'd rather be out there working with me, but she pretty much left me alone and come out even one morning at 5 o'clock to see if I was still alive. So it's been a long month, and I haven't got a lot of time to spend together, but I'll make up for it in the long run.
And for you, Mike, there are some sponsors on your car, and I know, again, with you and your dad, it's nice to watch as you guys come to the track and even maybe get at each other once in a while, but just that relationship that you two have together.
Well, the biggest person that's been with me, through racing, my dad, me and him do get in our business matches, but you know what, it's not only my dad, and he's my best friend. We do hunting together, we race together, we do all that kind of stuff, and this year might change a little bit as far as I'm with this year, but he's always there. I mean, no matter out in the garage, helping me do whatever, just coming to the races, coming to support me and being there. Everybody that comes helps me in the garage, guys, Ames Automotive, East Coast Diesel on the car, just everybody who comes and helps me and supports me, and all my friends that come over, and everybody who does everything for me.
All right, well, thank you guys, and Chris, I would say this will be the year. You'll be back in victory lane. It sure seems that way, and Mike, well, we'll see. Mike Burrows is well on his way to a championship year. He's just gotta move those other guys out of the way. All right, thank you guys. Do we have any other drivers that would like to come up before we get all done and taken care of? You just did. The pressure is on. You're going to race a 125. That counts for something. Well, it's not important whether you talk to them. It's important whether you talk to me.
I'm not good at this.
That's okay. You got to get good because if you win, you need to be able to talk in front of a group of people.
You're laughing at me because I brought my ice cream. How do you do that?
Yeah, turn it on. There you go.
Don't
You're already doing better than Brandon did. He didn't turn it on. Throwing punches now. So, Tiff, you're going to make your 125 semi-debut this year. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm more nervous, actually.
Nervous, yeah, well, that makes sense. How often are you going to compete throughout the year?
I'm going to try every week. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's what we like to hear. Another car, another driver. That's good stuff. And for Kayla, another female driver. So things are all. That's right. We're already moving forward. You had run a car before. What can you take from that? Just maybe getting rid of some of the jitters?
Yeah, I'm kind of fixing the things I did wrong before, and to try to not think about my nervousness while I'm out there, like I did the first 2 times I did it. Kind of just learned from the mistakes I made before.
Have you started the car yet? Have you sat in the car yet, or are you guys still in the shop process of getting it ready?
I didn't sit in it yet.
Yeah, wow.
No, I got it taken apart and all already, so fix a couple things and put it all back together.
What are your goals? Where do you want to be? I mean, they're saying maybe 270. Hey, I don't know. There's maybe a 305 in your future.
No. I'm just gonna do my best with whatever I get. That's where I'm at.
What's your goal? There's got to be a goal. Do you want to finish races? Do you want to win races? Do you want a top 5? Or what are you looking at?
Wow, in the 270, I'd like to be brand new.
Oh, wow. You don't even need to qualify. Just as long as she finishes ahead of him.
I would like to at least finish a race. I mean, without getting lapped. A win would be nice.
See,
That
there you
takes
go.
a lot of work.
That's the right attitude to have. Finish first, because to win, you must first finish. Are there 9 125 races this year? Something like that? 7, 9, 8? Yeah, something like that. Once those races are done, or throughout the summer, will you be competing anywhere else?
We might. I'm not really sure yet.
You're one of those drivers that shows up with the helmet bag and drives. That seems to be the...
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to make me do something, because he's already planning on teaching me some things.
Well, that's good. That way you know what happens when this breaks or that breaks.
I would like to help. I don't want to just be one of those drivers.
Yeah, I've seen those drivers before. A couple of them were sitting up here tonight, Mike Boyer. No, we're just kidding. Just kidding. Who's helping? Is it just Brandon and Brian and the family, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we have a couple like family friends that can help. That's pretty much it.
See, that wasn't hard, and you did well. You're ready for victory lane.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming up. And thank you that are still here. We seem to have. But we're up to 5 people on Ustream. Ustream is banging right now. Thank you for coming tonight. I'm sure some people can still hear us throughout the mall. For coming to Linda's Speedway night. We have the King of the Wing throne here. If you'd like to get your picture taken on that, Boyer, you can do it now because, just get ready. Get ready for it later. But anybody that's in the mall that would like to come get their picture taken on the King of the Wing throne, Briscoe, our racetrack mascot, will be making a brief appearance here tonight before the mall closes, but we'll also be back on Saturday for Kids Night. For everybody that watched us on Ustream tonight, thank you. We appreciate it. And we're right around the corner from racing season, so make sure you check out lindaspeedway.com for more details.